Good morning, welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday again. It is Monday, July the 20th, and we're here to look at the new releases published this week in Cozy Mysteries on Mondays. On Wednesdays, we look at the crime fiction and thrillers, the darker side, and on Fridays, we look at the leftovers of usually the cozies and anything else that might have missed the first sweep. Hope you are having a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. Well, let's jump in. The Twisted Flip by M.E. Bakos, 6th in the Home Renovator Mysteries. After a blissful honeymoon with her new hubby, Caitlin's life hits the skids when she gets notice that their marriage is invalid. When Dawn returns to sheriff duties, Caitlin finds herself home alone in their new mansion with her rescue cat Boots, who has a severe case of the zoomies. What's a rehab specialist to do? Caitlin buys a fixer-upper Cape Cod on Kildare Street. In fictional Crocus Heights, Mira, her BFF, relates the home's sordid past. A jilted lover of the groom killed the bride. Upon finding notebooks written by the bride that implicate the groom, Caitlin questions whether his spurned former lover was unjustly found guilty. Her search for the truth leads Caitlin to question her own marriage. Will she find her happily ever after, renovate the house, and discover if the woman incarcerated was truly guilty before she comes face to face with a killer? Says perfect for HGTV fans and small town murder mysteries. Murder by the Good Book by Beth Byers, 49th in the Violet Carlyle Mysteries. A small town, good people, and one shocking murder. Is anything more shocking than a body uncovered in a chapel? When Vi and friends try to uncover why the murder occurred, they find their way into secrets and jealousies that shock even them. Now the clock is ticking to uncover the killer before another good person falls victim to one of the most surprising of killers. Murder by Degrees by Rachel Ford, 4th in the Meredith and Alec Thatch Mysteries. Get a little glug here. And between now and... when did I set this up? That date has changed, so we're moving on. I'm going to get rid of that right now. Maple Pie Murder by Kathleen Suzette, 44th in a freshly baked cozy mystery. Fall has arrived in Sandy Harbor, Maine, and the crisp air carries the scent of cinnamon, nutmeg, and maple syrup. If only. Allie is busy baking maple pies from her grandmama's treasured recipe for the town's harvest festival, and business at her bakery booth has never been better. But when a well-known local resident is found dead, the season's excitement quickly turns to dread. As rumors spread, her husband Alec, the local police detective, is assigned to the case, and Allie is determined to help uncover the truth. As Allie follows a trail of secrets, grudges, and long-buried betrayals, she discovers that nearly everyone in town had a reason to dislike the victim. Between baking pies, spending time with family, and trying to stay out of danger, she finds herself drawn deeply into a mystery that someone is willing to keep hidden. Can Callie catch the killer before another life is cut short, or will this autumn investigation become her most dangerous one yet? All right, since I deleted that one, let's do a little shake up here. There we go. The Wing of a Bee. That's kind of a cute cover. By Tammy D. Walker, 1st in Butterfield's Boutique and Computer Repair Mysteries. Leslie had expected her grandmother's funeral to buzz. Everyone who was anyone would be at the service for Evelyn, late owner of Butterfield's Boutique and queen bee of Loblolly County. What Leslie hadn't expected was reuniting with her free-spirited cousin Veronica, or that they would inherit the coveted boutique. When an influencer wearing jewelry from Butterfield's is robbed, Leslie concludes the theft is a publicity stunt. But when the boutique's window is smashed in violently, the cousins begin to investigate before worse happens to the shop or to its clients. With the help of reunited family, new neighbors, and old friends, Leslie and Veronica brave the swarm of suspects who all want the boutique, the jewelry, and the revenge. End of that road. Curse and Effect by L. Adams, 4th in the Cursed Witch Mysteries. After a string of high-stakes missions, Perry and her team are taking some leisure time. An invitation to a fantasy-themed festival from their neighbor would be right up Perry's alley, were it not for two things. Firstly, the festival isn't part of the paranormal world at all, but run by regular humans who like to dress up as magical beings for fun. And secondly, not long after they arrive at the event, someone drops dead. Perry and the team suspect magical foul play, but from which direction? An artist who draws creepy portraits of people's deaths, a supposed fortune teller, an herbalist with a secret, and a seller of dubious snacks are only a few of the people who might be more than they seem. Can Perry unmask the killer without exposing her own magical powers or her curse? Well, you're the only one bringing it up. Murder at the Mansion by Ellie Alexander, 3rd in the novel Detectives. In the charming town of Redwood Grove, even the grandest estates have something to hide. When reclusive heiress Bernadette Garst vanishes from her sprawling mansion, book owner and investigator Annie Murray is summoned to the scene. After arriving at the legendary Garst property, Annie and her partner Fletcher discover a household riddled with secrets, bitter family rivalries, and suspicious staff members. When Bernadette's lawyer also goes missing, it's clear the case is escalating into something far more dangerous. With her keen eye for detail and a little help from her friends, Annie must piece together the clues hidden within the opulent estate grounds. Can she solve the puzzle before it's too late? Get a Candle on Crime by Sarah E. Burr. 4th in the Glenmire Whim Mysteries. Christmas in Crucible is looking merry and bright until the murder sends a chill through town. Hazel Wickberry is ready for twinkling lights, family traditions, and a little peace on earth. But when a snowstorm sweeps through Crucible and she finds a dead body behind a wick in time, the season takes a frosty turn. For Hazel's Aunt Poppy, the mystery is personal. After the strange loss of her whim, Poppy is determined to prove she can still protect the town. Hazel will do anything to help her beloved bestie find her spark again, even if it means getting swept into another murder investigation. Their clues lead straight to Crucible's local health clinic, where workplace grudges, juicy secrets, and icy resentments are piling up faster than snowdrifts. Was the victim killed to silence a scandal? Or is something far more sinister hiding beneath the waiting room wallpaper? With a blizzard bearing down and suspects frosting over, the Glenmire girls will need every ounce of charm, courage, and cleverness to crack the case before the killer gets away scot-free. Oh, Alexander McCall Smith has a new one. Yay, in the series I read. This is 16th in the Isabel DeLucy series. The Subtle Pleasures of Indiscretion. Isabel has an unwavering commitment to her principles, which means she is often asked to advise on the sensitive personal affairs of others, even those whose business she would prefer to stay out of. When Isabel receives a surprise visit from a friend who has recently discovered the existence of a long-lost brother, she will have to face this quandary in her usual deft and thoughtful way. The friend has always held her father in high regard, and is worried that knowledge of his affair will tarnish her siblings' perception of him. Well, he's an adult, they're adults. Meanwhile, Isabel's husband, Jamie, has been offered the gig of his dreams, the opportunity to play in a series of concerts at a prestigious venue in London. After meeting the series coordinator, it becomes clear to Isabel that the woman has a massive crush on Jamie. Isabel isn't sure whether to reveal the woman's intentions. Should she tell Jamie of her suspicions, or would that mean calling his talent into question? And finally, the ever-frustrating Professor Lettuce returns. Oh, no. This time embroiled in a ridiculous dispute with his friend Professor Dove. Somehow, Isabel gets dragged into resolving the affair. As always, Isabel will have to use her pragmatic sensibility and kindness to navigate these tricky situations. End of that row. That series is light on crime, but I like it. Good morning, Mary. She says, good morning. Happy Monday. Late start for me this morning. Not her sleepless. Got her sleep too. So I'm behind in lots of ways. Hope you had a good night. Oh, it's okay. If you wanted to stay in bed even, that would be okay. Mary says, oh, good. I like him. Yes, me too. I like in particular, that series, the Isabel DeLucy one. He's got two others. Deadly Does It by Abby Waxman, second in the Mason and Man mysteries. Mason, a Gen Z adrenaline junkie, I'm out, and Man, an ex-con, ex-actress, and lawyer turned sleuth, have already solved one murder together. United by their commitment to sarcasm and general disappointment with the human race, they now face a second crime that's way too close to home. Alexa Russo keeps having accidents, and no one but her thinks it's coincidence. Could her checkered past be coming back to get her? Mason and Man's investigation takes them to the Bay Area, to the Central Coast, and, of course, to the hippest spots in Los Angeles. Will the Berkeley boho vibe convert Man from vintage couture? Will the wine snobs of Ojai drive Mason to drink, or to vinicide, which isn't even a thing? More importantly, will they solve the mystery before the murderers' sights settle on the detectives themselves, or will this new challenge also be their last? Well, it'll be somebody's cup of tea. Not mine. Lights, Camera, Spellbound by Tessa Silver. 14th in the Quillhaven Magical Cozy Mysteries. Hollywood has arrived in Quillhaven, and the magic is ready for its close-up. When a film crew descends on the enchanted shores of Starfell Lake to shoot a summer romance, bookseller and witch Annie Hart expects a little harmless chaos. What she doesn't expect is a midnight kiss scene that goes spectacularly, magically wrong, leaving two famous actors frozen like statues, shimmering lips sealed, no breath detectable for a terrifying 25 minutes. Someone swapped the prop sparkle powder for real enchantment. Now the production company is threatening to sue the town, the lake's ancient magic is growing dangerously restless, and Annie's suspect list includes a fiercely protective stylist, a brooding stunt double, a visionary director with suspicious sketches, and one wide-eyed intern who can't stop finding her way back to spellbound stories. With snarky Siamese cat Leo convinced he's been discovered by Hollywood and his graceful sister Luna quietly steering the investigation, Annie races to uncover the truth before Quillhaven's summer spell turns into something no one can undo. That sounds like talking cats to me. Secret Maps from Witch Island by Carrie DeQuoy. Second in the Lizzie Blackwell files. A locked library, an uninvited guest, a puppy stranded on a cliff no one could possibly climb. Lizzie Blackwell is finally starting to belong on Witch Island, the island no map can find. She's casting daily balancing spells, sort of, learning to levitate and helping her sister Jane plan the town's first harvest festival in years. Why does this feel like it's a Jane Austen ripoff? We've got Jane and Lizzie. Then a hiker turns up dead behind a locked door, a stranger no one invited to an island that runs on invitations. The sheriff rules it an accident caffeine overdose and catches the ferry home. Lizzie isn't buying it, neither is the island, where the weather's turned strange and her spells keep misfiring. The trail winds from small batch espresso to secret tunnels to maps that were never meant to exist, and every clue points to one of her new neighbors. With the festival days away, the killer one step from finishing what they started, and a golden retriever puppy following her every move, Lizzie must set a trap underground before the person who's been hiding in plain sight slips away for good. Lotus and Larceny by Jade Curry. Mary says, are you smoke-free now, or are you socked in with the Canadian menace? I feel so badly for them and us too. It's better down here, but still hanging around a little. It is going east of us, strangely. Usually it is all on us, and it's kind of funny that the East Coast is going, oh, this is so bad, we're dying. It's like, yeah, welcome to our summers. You're getting it for once. We have been surprisingly clear, and we have had a lot of rain, which has helped not create fires as yet as well. So we are very lucky. How's the heat down there? Mary says, good morning, Amy. Did Amy say hi and I missed it? Lotus and Larceny. When florist Iris Bennett is hired to create the floral arrangements for Cedar Grove's long-awaited Lotus Pond dedication, the biggest challenge she expects is keeping the tulips from blooming too soon. But after a body is found dead beside the very pond she fought so hard to restore, Iris realizes something isn't adding up. With her quick-witted assistant Sadie, her delightfully opinionated one-eyed Persian cat Winston, and Detective Mark Cooper urging her to leave the investigation to the police, Iris uncovers a trail of quiet contradictions hidden within committee meetings, volunteer rivalries, old friendships, and long-held loyalties. In Cedar Grove, everyone knows everyone, which makes murder even more devastating. That was by Jade Curry, 12th in that series. End of that row. Oh. I clicked a button and they're suddenly more... StreamYards is messing with the setup here. Amy says, good morning, PK, Mary, and everyone else. Sorry I missed the start of the stream. That's okay. It's early in the morning, so don't worry about that. Mary says, I was late this morning too. It must be a Monday. Murder at the Cathedral by Alice Castle. 7th in the Sarah Vane Mysteries. Sarah Vane is enjoying a leisurely day in the small town of Mercers, maybe, when she spots her friend and renowned artist Simone Benz walking into the cathedral. Sarah follows her inside the ancient sanctuary, but she's utterly shocked to find Simone's lifeless body propped against a stone wall in the cloisters, spattered with crimson from a fatal stab wound. Sarah feels an aching sense of loss when she thinks about Simone, especially when she learns she may have been Simone's only friend in town. A feud between Simone and her neighbor, a vindictive ex-husband, and a set of mysterious initials in her diary set Sarah's inquisitive mind racing. But events take an even more harrowing turn when Sarah finds the dead body of the cathedral dean bathed in reds and blues of the stained glass windows in the nave. Will Sarah solve the mystery before the killer strikes again? The Starlet and the Killer Gossip Column by Lisa Hall. 24th in the Hotel Hollywood Mysteries. Blackmail and extortion in 1950s Hollywood. Can Lily uncover the truth? 1950s Hollywood has a strict code of morality and will stop at nothing to protect the reputation of its stars. But gossip columns start to reveal hidden secrets of some of the great and good of Tinseltown. Then a young starlet is found murdered. When a producer is found dead a few weeks later, Lily starts to connect the targets of the gossip column with the victims. As she investigates, she uncovers a brutal web of deceit, blackmail, and murder. I think we have time for one more if it's not too long. Chilled to the Bone by Liliana Hart, third in a Mabel McCoy Mysteries. A left-handed man doesn't shoot himself in the right temple. 25 years ago, Dr. Henry Wainwright was found dead in his study, and the sheriff called it suicide before the sun went down. His sister has spent every day since trying to get someone to believe her when she says it was murder. Nobody has. Until she walks into Mabel McCoy's tea shop. As the silver sleuths pull at threads the island has spent decades burying, Mabel discovers that the truth about Henry's death is closer than anyone imagined, and that someone will do whatever it takes to keep it buried. Meanwhile, the man she's falling for is keeping secrets of his own, and Mabel must decide whether the heart she's only just begun to open again can survive what she doesn't know. On Grim Island, the tea is sweet, the gossip is merciless, and the dead don't stay quiet for long. That has the look of like a Nancy Drew cover. And we will stop there. So everybody remember that is where we parked. On Wednesday, we will look at the rest of the at the crime fiction and thrillers. Oh, that's what that button did. Okay, cool. I didn't know it did that. Oh, StreamYards. Alrighty, well that is it for today. I don't have any sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. For 2 hours. We do every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Mary says, thanks so much. Hope you and Amy have a great start to the week. Stay cool and read good books. Indeed. Back at you, baby. Are you volunteering at the Friends of the Library this week? Amy says, have a good day, everyone. Indeed. Back at you. All righty. Well, I finished, real quickly, I finished Malice by John Gwynne. 5 stars. Loved it. We'll go on to the second one, but I'm also reading sci-fi, finally, second book in the Expanse series, Caliban's War. That is my update. All right. Be safe. Be cool. Stay hydrated. Mary says, not this week. Okay. And read good books, as Mary recommends. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.